another sort of amazing week of like you could not write or you couldn't invent what happens in my life. Like you just can't. It's just, stuff happens.
Look, one thing, so let's get this straight, right? Okay. One thing that's been happening is you've been putting in the work. And by you putting in
100%.
And by putting in the work, you've created this really solid foundation. And I know how much work you've been putting in because, well, I've known you for a year. And I only get to see the tip of the iceberg of what you do, right? And that's enough for one person already, just a tip, right? So if we use the 80-20, you're probably doing the work of 5 people, right? And that's why you're starting to get the rewards that you're getting. And I know,
right? It's just starting to flow and run itself. It's going into autopilot. It is ridiculous. Shall I share the story just very quickly about what happened this week? So I'm talking to my friend. I reckon it was last week. I've just printed off the date. So I think it was last week. And I said, so I'm in this rental because I've got the beach house that I manifested, and it was within 2 weeks of coming out. Remember, and I got the house, and then I thought, well, actually, I wouldn't mind something still up in town, which I'll just rent, just because I've got my kids up here, and it's a long story. So with 2 weeks to go, I found a rental, and at the time, the rental was $730, but everything else was $1,000 or $1,500 a week. So I've gone, oh my God. So I got it and I moved in, and it served its purpose. Literally, my rent has been up. I've just clocked up the year. And I said to my friend, I don't know if I can do another year in this rental because it served its purpose. But I work upstairs here and there's no cooling, so it gets very, very hot. So all of summer last year, I sweated it out. Whereas downstairs, it's a 2-story place, 3 bedrooms, but I used one of the bedrooms as a study. And downstairs, it's super, super cold. And it was built in the 90s, back in one of those cheap builds where there's no insulation. So all of winter froze my tits off, and all of summer sweated my butt off. So I thought, I just put it out. I literally was a passing comment, and I said, I don't know if I can do another year here. 2 days later, no joke, I get an email from the agent saying, the owner wants to put the place up. Now, it was $720 or $730 a week, putting it up to $900. Just a very straight out statement of like, the owner wants to put up the rent. It's going to go to $900 a week. Like, it was just like, do you want to discuss? There was nothing like that. And it just left a bad taste in my mouth. And I thought, I've only just said I don't really want to be here. And it happened that I was talking to my financial planner the very next day. We took over my dad's company and we were just talking about stuff. And I said, and now they want to put my rent up. And he said, well, your homework this weekend is to have a look at realestate.com or Domain, whatever. Just look at other rentals. So last week, so that was the weekend before last, so 2 weeks ago, it all happened. And then last weekend, so a week ago, I look on Domain, whatever, and then I see this place around the corner, and it's 3 bedrooms, 2 car parks, 2 bathrooms or 3 bathrooms, whatever, the same as what I got here. And it's $50 cheaper. I've just gone, hang on, and that has heating and cooling, and it's all on one level. This is split level. So I inquire with the agent, and she gets back to me. I'll let you know when we can get in for access. So I ring her on Tuesday, and I go, have you heard anything? And she said, yeah, I think 5:15 on Thursday. And I thought, look, I can only just do it 10 minutes. And I thought, that gives me 2 days. So I thought, well, let's just be a bit proactive here because I'm kind of choosing to find somewhere different. So I printed out the application and I copied my passport, did my driver's license. So I did all the pre-checking stuff just on the off chance, because I thought, look, if I'm thinking about it, when you plant that idea in your head of like, I'm kind of done with it. Now I'm looking at other places, might be an option. So I thought I'll do my homework behind it. It literally took me 5 minutes. I was sitting at my desk, pulled out my whatever's and just did all the stuff. So I rock up there at 5:15. Now the agent's running late and there's all these people outside, and I'm thinking, all right, mum with a couple of kids, and then there's this Indian dude who's on the phone to maybe a number of others to like rent out the rooms, whatever. And so there's a whole variety of different people. And I've rocked up in my sports gear. Like I just look like a, normal, just come from the gym type of thing. No one, you wouldn't, you can't assume, right? Don't assume. It's one of the 4 agreements. And so anyway, I go up and she opens the door and have a look, and within 2 minutes, I've gone, yeah, this feels right. So while the others are still looking, I walk outside and I say to the chick, all right, here's my application, but would they take 6 months? And she goes, I don't know, but I'll put it to the owner. And I said, okay, I have to go because I had to meet my girlfriend at the gym. Anyway, so the next day is Friday. So this is Friday last week. What day are we now? Tuesday. So this is last Friday.
Tuesday.
Yeah. And anyway, the lady of the new property that I'm looking at, she comes back and she says, look, the owner would prefer 12 months. So I'm in meetings, and so by 12 o'clock, I ring her back, but it goes on to voicemail. Meanwhile, the other agent that has gone the 900, you've got to do this from, the week before, starts ringing me and texting me nonstop. And it was one of those days where every meeting went back to back to back. I didn't even have time to go to the toilet. It was one of those that went straight through. And she's ringing me. I can't answer the phone. So she's texting me, and I said, look, I'm in meetings. If I get a chance, I'll get back to you. And then I don't finish till 8 o'clock that night. And her texts during the day were, the owner really like you. She really like you. She wants you to stay. And it was like really broken English. And it was like, oh, no, we do deal. We do deal. And I've texted back like, no, well, we need to discuss this. And she goes, oh, no, we need to have a conversation. So anyway, I'm trying to put it in the wings until I hear back from the other lady. So I've messaged about any update on this rental that, yeah, I'm happy with 12 months and it's, can you let me know? And she doesn't get back to me. So I don't want to hound her, but I think, well, they work Saturday. So I call 3 times, I text a couple of times, and there's nothing. And I thought, you know what? Listen to your own philosophy, because then when the fear started coming up, oh, do I have to go and ring this other woman? I thought, no, just trust and believe and let it go. Trust and believe. And I'm busy because it's Black Friday. I'm racing around getting presents for the kids and stuff, saving a fortune, by the way. That's another side bit. 5:30 that afternoon, the agent from the new rental rings me and she said, oh, my goodness, after I messaged you yesterday, I was in an open and I accidentally left my phone in the house and it was locked up until I could get back in through the tenants, which wasn't until I've just got my phone. It's 5:30 on Saturday. And she said, yes, they'll take your application if you take 12 months. And I said, great. So by 6 o'clock, I'd signed it up. And so I'd signed the lease agreement. And then I said to the lady, how many days notice do you need to give and whatever? So she actually told me what to type into my email to the current agents to say, hey, I'm giving notice now, 28 days notice. And so Monday morning, the current agent rings me and says, oh, can we discuss about your place? And I said, oh, why? And she said, oh, no, she's very happy for you to stay. We can negotiate. You can have the same rent. You can do everything. I said, well, I've just signed an agreement with somebody else. She goes, why did you do that? I said, well, you sent me an email saying you're putting the rent up, and it was very blunt. And I said, and this place doesn't have any cooling upstairs and it's very cold. And she said, oh, and I said, and I found a place around the corner. It's $50 cheaper. And she said, oh, can you tell me how much? And I don't know. I didn't say 50. I said cheaper. And she goes, can you tell me where and how much? And I said, no, but I said, it's a better proposition. And she said, oh, well, can you stay till January? I said, no, I've given you 28 days notice. She hadn't seen her email. She had seen nothing. And I said, I sent you 2 emails on the weekend. So they had to honor it from when I sent the email. So then she goes, oh, well, that's going to be at Christmas time. It's the 24th. The 28 days comes up Christmas Eve. And she said, oh, well, can you make it a week earlier? And I said, well, I've got to organise removalists and stuff, and I have to give 28 days notice. Oh, we'll refund back the rent and the difference. So I thought, right, I don't know. So I've booked the removalist, one for next Friday and one for the Friday after. So I move in on the Friday, I think it's the 16th, or the 19th, which is a week before, which would mean I wouldn't have an overlap of 2 lots of rent. So I might get that back, but that's my rental story in a nutshell. All I did was just verbalise something. I'm not sure I could really stay here. I think I might like something else. The universe goes, oh, okay, let's get this into, and with ease and flow. So when I stopped the stress that started to come up, I haven't heard anything. I just thought and went away along my day. And then out of the blue, she rings me saying, sorry, I lost my phone. So it was actually testing me to stay in my peace and that to my advantage.
And that's such an interesting story. And there's a few things I want to pick up in this story.
Yeah.
So many people could have so easily played the victim. Oh no, my rent's going from $730 to $900.
Yeah.
And they could have gone down in that spiral, like the world hates me and everyone hates me.
The anger. Oh, you can't do that. And I don't think by law they can actually do that, but they were just trying. 100%. My instant reaction was, oh, I just stopped and just gone. And then I thought I'll just allow that to process, because I know, interest rates are going up and all that sort of stuff. And it's probably because I haven't rented for a long time. It's probably part of the protocol. But then I thought that's when it just sunk in. Actually, I'm not that happy with the place. So they did me a favor by being greedy.
And that's the first thing, is that they helped you with the moving out. You didn't play the victim, and you took control, and you just allowed it to flow, and you got yourself a better place for cheaper, which is amazing.
I know, it's ridiculous, where it's all on one level and it's really modern, and I've got this big terrace with views all over the back of Melbourne. And I can't believe it for $680. It's ridiculous.
I think I'm moving in now. Although, they've heard Melbourne 4 seasons in one day. It sounds like Sally's current place has 4 seasons in 1 minute.
Oh, in this road, right? But what it allowed me to focus on the situation, because I'd gone into autopilot, just paying my rent, and I hadn't thought about this place at all. And then as summer's approaching this week, so I'll be out before Christmas. And the great thing is, this is the other part, is that I searched through my phone, looked for removalists, and I got the lady that moved me a year ago, and they moved me into this rental and also down to the beach. And I said, oh, well, what happened is that because everything was in a rush, there was a lot of boxes that I didn't send to the beach because I didn't have room in the truck. So I said, they haven't even been undone. So can we do 2 deliveries, one pick up here of all these boxes? It's just kids' photo albums and stuff from over the years that weren't a priority. So I've got all these boxes they're going to take next Friday, still in the rental here, get it out of the way. So by the time I move up to the other one, I literally only take what I need, which is just the bed, the furniture, the cupboards and my desk and office stuff. So not all the other excess crap, which I don't want to drag around with me. So it gives me time over summer to go through the kids' photos, scan them, do whatever you need to do, because I had, lots of kids' stuff, from 10 years. So, so it was a win-win, and I've just gone, and then if I am able to get it the week earlier, I won't be paying the double rent. Ooh.
Which is great. But it also comes back to something you were saying earlier on today in a different group, you and Claire, where you're just allowing things to flow.
Yes, I think that was the trilogy. We're always saying about trust and believe. And for this week, it just landed, just allow. So it's that everything's in 3s. So trust and believe, trust in the process, believe in yourself, trust everything will be okay, but just allow it to unfold organically. Just allow the process to go through. Allow yourself to to go with the flow, to be in the moment. Oh, so powerful. That has landed for me this week, how important allowing is, because it allows you to get out of your head, the stress, the worry, the anxiety about, but the rent's going up, but this. Just allow the process to unfold and trust and believe that it will be okay. And look at that. It is. It's amazing.